All right, good afternoon or good evening. It's Saturday night again. We're back. We have Kimmy Jong Un at the top. I'm mixing all the boxes up, but we got Jimmy Jong Un in the top. We've got Scott of West Texas next to her. Below that, we have President Donald Trump, who's joined us tonight.
Glad to be here.
we got we've got the mouth of the South, Beth Duffy, in the lower corner. So, and I forgot my lovely co-host, Doc Martin.
You
in the
always
house.
forget her.
I forgot Chris.
What I deal with on a regular basis, Bill. I'm just
Poor
saying.
thing.
I just thought you were saving the best for last.
Yes.
And by the way, Scotter is in the chat room.
I'm sorry, darling.
Scotter, Scotter the Ryle, he's in the chat room and says, sorry he couldn't make it, but he's in the chat room.
Well, good. We're still glad Scooter's here.
Hope you're having fun, Scotty.
Okay, what do we got tonight? What are we up to
Gosh,
tonight?
this has been a wild week, hasn't it?
Yes,
Did it blow
is.
y'all's doors off?
Don't even know where to start.
Yeah, it's been a wild week. I haven't been able to keep up with a whole lot of it because I've had some personal stuff going on. So, but I bet I can form an opinion or ask a question. I'll let y'all start.
We know that Trump is a multitasker by far. He's got all this stuff going on, North Korea, Iran, all the crap, internal. Every time he does something, he gets a lawsuit against it. And I believe that this past week, the stuff with the squad, he's now kicking off a cultural revolution to protect our country from socialism and people like that. I think that's what that was the kickoff. And that's going to be another one of his things from now on, is hammering them every chance he gets, just like he has on the other stuff.
Oh, I want to say hey to Piper.
I mean, he literally has so many eggs in the air at one time, it's just amazing.
What was that, Kimmy?
I just wanted to say hey to Piper, Ohio. She said she hasn't been in to watch this show yet, so I wanted to say hey to her.
Oh, no. We're so glad to have you, Piper.
Yeah, Piper, she was actually married to her brother, who is gay.
Piper was
What?
married to her brother who was gay?
He's gay. Doesn't surprise me.
And that's a death sentence in a Muslim culture.
And I do want to throw a monkey's wrench into it. I read an article that said that she really is not even. That's not really. Ilhan is not from the Omar family or whatever the Omar family. That they got one of the lottery or something was coming over the family was, and they allowed her and I think like 2 or 3 of her sisters to come as part of their family. I read that. Now I have not seen any other substantiation to that.
It's been substantiated.
I read the article, but
it's been substantiated. I've seen the documents, and that's a felony. She changed her name and lied to the immigration office to get her citizenship.
Right.
That she ought to be kicked out right here and then.
Well, yes, because it makes her ineligible to serve if she's not even a U.S. citizen, a legal one. Don't you think?
I agree.
All
And she's
government
got several
benefits to be
felonies.
pulled.
I want to go back on what Doc said originally. She said she's going to throw a monkey wrench. I think that was dog whistling. Doc,
You thought what?
you were
I
dog
missed
whistling. Dog whistling.
I missed.
Doc
I
was
missed
dog
something.
whistling.
What did he say, Kimmy?
You can't hear me?
He's referring to your comment about a monkey wrench that you were dog whistling.
Oh.
Doc Martin was dog
Oh,
whistling.
Hard. One of these days you're going to be as funny as you think you are.
Hey, you got that right.
Somebody's gonna go ape shit. Whoops.
Oh no.
Yep.
I'm saying, but yeah, but I bet I know they're looking into it because POTUS even made comments about it this week, so it's on their radar.
Now,
But
Piper,
I'm sure he doesn't want to look like he's, after her.
Piper in the chat is saying that it's not Omar, it's Rashida Tlaib, that came in with the wrong family or something. I can't tell.
Oh, really? Did I get him confused?
Well,
Maybe.
is she the one from Michigan?
Michigan is Omar, I think.
No,
No,
Minnesota is
Minnesota.
Omar. Minnesota is Omar. I think Michigan is Talib.
Piper, where did you read that? Did you say, babe? Because I can't even remember where I read the article. think it
I
was
saw
one of those-
Rosie's memes.
Have y'all? I don't think I read Rosie memes very much. Maybe.
Mr.
I
Birdie
It was on
Truth.
Whatfinger also.
But have y'all had a problem this week on Twitter where if you're reading an article and you know how you press on it to go to the actual article to read it, from the tweet screen, and if you do anything on that screen, it just disappearing? I've had that happen numerous times this week.
In fact, I had a couple missing today.
Omar is a borrowed name.
I want to go back. Mr. Bearded Truth brought something up there. If there were any official documents, immigration documents, not on Talib that anybody's seen, but there are some documents that are public record on the marriage of Elon Omar, that are coming out. So, which is interesting because the name of the brother was changed. That's the name that was changed.
Now, what's this tweet I see that there was husband 1, husband 2 with Omar? Is she married?
Oh my God.
Supposedly
She
married,
married
to 2
one,
people?
left him and said she divorced him in her faith, and then shacked up with husband number 2, married him, or was living with him and filed tax, her income tax with him, though she was still legally married because she didn't divorce the first husband.
Well, she has a number of felonies against her right now.
Well,
Yeah, Piper says that it's on Rosie Memos today.
Yeah, that's what I thought I saw.
Right.
I read it
here's
somewhere earlier this week, like yesterday or the day before, and I think it was one of those that kind of went away or something, or I don't remember where I read it, but I did see it like in the last day or so.
Here's what I saw, Doc. What I saw was this. It's right now it's speculation. Husband 1 and husband 2, right? One of them is supposed to be her brother, but the name was changed on the document from her brother's name to a different name. But
Yeah.
all of the information about this man matches up to her brother. So that's what the story
Yes,
is.
that was exactly what I just said.
Okay.
Just saying. You might have said it a little bit more succinctly, though.
Y'all know how the president has many times tweeted things that people have thought were ridiculous, and then turns out that ridiculous thing ended up being true?
It's always with
All
him.
the time.
Something I've wondered is perhaps all 4 of those women aren't legally here. For him to say that they need to go back, maybe
I agree, Kimmy.
to see if maybe they're not. I don't know. But
Well, now they're making a big book to do about the chant. Let them go home or whatever it was.
Yeah, he was silent 13 seconds, and he's at fault?
What was that, Beth?
During the rally, he was silent 13 seconds, and they want to blame him?
Did you not know that that's enough to crucify somebody with? 13
I
seconds.
obviously didn't know that till last night.
I'm telling you.
Well, they did the same thing of lock her up. Same
Yeah.
exact thing.
Mhm.
You're
But
right.
this was actually semantics, though. The president can't actually say that I'm going to throw a citizen of the United States out of the country. And that's what they were saying was throw her out. She's a citizen. And that's why he denounced that part.
Yeah, but
he did not
Obama
denounce
brought
her
her.
enthusiasm.
Actually,
So
he did.
If they had said, make her leave or love it or leave it, if they did just start chatting, love it or leave it, he would have loved that and let them keep going.
Exactly.
But because they said, kick her out, he couldn't condone that as a president.
Actually, what he really said was, You can go back home, try to fix it the way you want to change this country, and then come back and show us how it's done, is what he really said. So he didn't say get out of the country and don't come back. He actually told them to come back.
The one thing I've always had a point of, if you dislike your country that bad, stay there. Change your country, then you can stay, and you will love your country where you came from. You don't have to come here for a better life. You'll have one there.
Because that's not the real reason. The real reason they come here is to proselytize all of their mission is to spread being a Muslim and all of the things that entails. It is
Sharia law.
Yes, Sharia law. Thank you.
Yes, when it comes to that, you're right.
They're really coming here as refugees. And 90% of those people up there in Minnesota came from where Obama dumped them all. I mean,
exactly.
It's absolutely mind-blowing that we've allowed all this to happen.
But I don't know if you guys watched Math Files last night. He had David Rubin on, who's in Israel. He had a plan for peace in Israel and Palestine about taking a loyalty vow, I think it's called. But the way he described it, I immediately said, we should implement that ASAP. It was on the nose right.
Well, there's a 1957 law that says Islam is not allowed in the United States.
Oh, I didn't know.
But somebody recently has said it was overturned, and that's something I want to look into.
Yeah, dude.
It was I forgot the names. I got the tweet of it, and it is an actual law by a Republican and a Libertarian.
I really don't know anything about it.
I just get lost for words at this.
Well, it's something I need to look into because I've seen it for quite a while now. It's been all through Twitter, and it's been on Facebook.
Find out.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I have to look into it.
Yeah, and I'm also pissed off.
97 Scooter said.
I'm also pissed off about this. Is it Minnesota? The lady that won the beauty contest there, and they took it away because she wouldn't put a
hijab.
What do you call it? Yeah, hijab on.
Really?
She had expressed conservative views on her tweets. She had a picture of her in her Make America Great Again hat. And they took it away from her. Real nasty about it too.
They were doing a photo op, and they asked her to put on one of those jihadis or whatever, and she refused. And they used that in her tweets as the basis for removing her, taking away her.
See, that's really disturbing. That's really disturbing when you have a state allowing this.
Well, it's not. It was not. It was a private beauty pageant, and I can't even remember. I'd never even heard of it, so it can't be that influential. But you know, when it's privately owned, I think they can pretty much set their own rules.
Really?
I think, unless she can prove that. I would think unless she could prove that they went after her because of her Christian faith, or you know, maybe get them on something like that under the employer laws. It would depend on what state they're in.
Well, hell, I'd even refuse to wear one of those little Jew caps because I'm not a Jew.
A Jew cap.
She refuses to wear the whole facial thing because she's not a freaking Muslim. I mean, give me a break.
I wouldn't. I don't care if I mean, there's just nothing that would make me ever put one on, because to me, that's condoning it. That's saying that that it should be done, and I just irritates me to death.
Yeah, what are they going to say to her next after she puts that on? Is it time to tell her she needs, vagina mutilation?
Oh God.
Well, if that's a privately owned thing, more than likely she can sue.
I would think it just depends on what state and what their laws are, and what kind of contract she signed.
Mm-hmm.
I hope she can.
Yeah. If she could prove something like, if she's a Christian and she could prove that it was directly related to her Christian faith, she could push something like that.
So this was a beauty contest, and she got punished for not covering up her face.
She got stripped of her title, and they were real ugly when they tweeted her or texted her or emailed, whatever they did, and told her to be sure and send back her sash and her crown or something like that. And you're going,
It's pretty
you
funny,
people
though,
are so tacky.
that they're wanting her to cover herself up after she got named most beautiful.
She was out somewhere, and I think representing them, and they they asked her to put it on, as just to try it on as a show of solidarity, and she wouldn't do it. She's not for oppression of women, she said.
Oh God.
Which,
Is that?
hey, I'm proud of her.
I am too.
Not one on either. It wouldn't matter what you offered me. I mean, you'd have to threaten to cut my head off, and then I would be forever plotting your death after that.
Did all y'all see Enabler Abe's rant yesterday on Muslims?
Oh man.
No, I did not.
He
That
was
was
on fire.
What was he ranting about?
About Muslims. He was saying, he said, at one point, it's like, I can hate a black woman, not because of her skin color, but because she's a fucking Muslim. Fuck you. Fuck off. I mean, he went for like
No
5
joke.
minutes like that. He probably dropped 20
He was-
F-bombs.
Oh man.
That's
I
fun.
actually took that clip and broke it out of the scope. I'll drop it in the MAGA and Speakeasy chat room. I think I may have, but it was late at night. Maybe nobody saw it.
I think that's the most I've ever seen Abe fired up.
Oh, yeah.
Chat rooms lately.
I missed it.
Yeah, I'll drop it in our room, the MAGA and Speakeasy room on Telegram.
Pitiful, pitiful. I'm just saying.
About it.
It's everything is designed to force that religion upon us in society, and the mainstream media is so complicit. I mean, they're just on you like a pack if they think you have any reservations even towards that religion. It just blows my mind. That they think they're not going to be forced to live in the same laws if Sharia law was ever accepted or implemented,
Mm-hmm.
I just dropped it in the MAGA Promises Cap in the Speakeasy show. It's uploading right now. It'll take a minute, but it's there.
Thank you. I did see a tweet today that said that I'm looking at my Twitter right now just to see if I could think of something to talk about. But it's a tweet by David R. Lewis, Representative David R. Lewis. The bipartisan decision from a 3-judge panel of the Wake County Superior Court, that's in North Carolina, has ruled that voter ID implementation can go forward. No preliminary injunction, and most of plaintiffs' claims were dismissed. So it looks like, it's a one step forward, anyway, for voter ID in North Carolina.
Where's that at?
It's just something I had seen earlier on Twitter. It was a David.
Did you see what state it was in?
North Carolina.
Carolina.
North Carolina. Okay.
Mhm.
I'm definitely saw it.
I got something for us that we can show, maybe, if I can make it come up. But did anybody see that video of Rashida Tlaib at Trump's rally?
No, I heard
Rally?
about it.
The one at a rally, or the
Yes.
one that when she was leaving when they were throwing her out of the hotel.
It was at the hotel. That was her
Show it.
before he was
Show it.
president. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one from Michigan.
Yep. That's wow. She was after him before she even got to Congress because she
Oh
was,
yeah, I think you were at one of his rallies.
At his rally too. Yeah.
She's a nut job. She's a left-wing nut job. And when they're throwing her out of that hotel, you can see crazy written all over her. You just wait and see.
Okay, I'm working on it.
Her crazy was on full display. Excuse me, Kimmy, go ahead.
Well, I think that I saw that happening with a second person, one of the other two. Rashida Tlaib got thrown out, and oh gosh, I think it was Ilhan Omar that I saw getting thrown out of some other event.
I got it up, so I'm gonna play it now. Okay.
Yeah.
It's gonna cover most of us. Transition it over. Okay.
You guys are crazy!
You're an animal! Get a job!
You guys are crazy!
You're an animal! Get a job!
Yeah, they got it looping. So they got it looping, but that's her. There was questions whether it was her or not, but it is her.
Oh.
Oh, honey, you tell that's hard. She's got crazy written all over her. Look at her.
Oh my God.
Would anybody be surprised coming from a woman who gets up there and says, we're going to impeach the MFer? I mean,
I don't know.
Why wasn't this brought up when she was running?
Well, they really, as far as I'm concerned, they didn't even try in that district.
The media didn't
The
try.
Republican
Yeah.
Party. They need to fight for that seat.
Rusty, Laura Loomer was all over both of them, and she was ignored.
He was.
She was ignored. She knew about everything about these two nut jobs, and the media ignored her.
Yeah, she pointed out again that AOC only got, she got 16,000 votes. She points out she didn't win by 16,000. There was only a total of 16,000 votes that she got.
that was AOC, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Oh
I mean,
my
what
God.
the fuck is wrong with New York that they don't go out and vote? There's more than 16,000 people in there.
Well, it was a certain district, but yeah, it should have been a lot more.
Think about what that says. Even if she had gotten all of the votes, that is one person who only 16,000 people support her, and she's running the country pretty much. Doing run part of the country. She's
And
framing and leading people to think a certain way, and she's doing. I mean, she's making progress.
She's leading old Nancy around like she's got a ring in her nose doing the tango.
Yes.
All right, you can call me a conspiracy.
That's right. 'Cause it does show that Nancy is she's lost control. I mean, the left wing, that little squad is totally running everybody by ringing their nose, and they've got lower approval ratings than Congress does. Believe it or not.
Here's why I think they don't care. The four of them don't care, and here's why. I think they are out to do everything they can to stoke up the nuts, to get them out in the streets for civil war. That's what I think they're doing. Because Omar has a 9% approval rating among Democrats. 13% of AOC voters, only 13% of people who voted for her will vote for her again. So they know this. They obviously know these numbers. They don't care. Why would you
I
not
think
care?
they're trying to force the Democratic Party to the left.
No,
Well, hold
because
on.
they're going to lose their re-elections. At least 3 of the 4 are going to lose.
Okay, wait. You guys know who the Young Turks are, right?
That's
Yep.
exactly what I was going to say, Beth. Go ahead.
Cenk Uygur.
They have a plan on demolishing the Democrat Party and making their own new progressive party.
Mm-hmm.
And these 4 are the beginning.
And I can't remember the name of it, but it's like, it starts with a D, but it's
Yeah, I can't either.
Justice Democrats.
Justice
That's
Democrats. J. J is the other D.
Oh, yeah. Well, it was JD. You got half of it right.
But
So
these,
see,
3 of the 4 are almost guaranteed to be kicked out of Congress the next election.
I agree.
So
Here's the-
why keep it going? Why keep doing this? There's got to be a reason.
But they're
I'll
going
tell
to be
you
they're a
why.
nightmare and a blessing in a way. They're going to destroy the Democrat Party, and they're a blessing because of that same reason. And they're a nightmare to the Democrats themselves.
Yeah, but it's not logical, is it?
My
It
guess
is.
is they're going to run for
Who says Democrats are
2024.
logical?
That
It
yeah,
is
but
logical.
that's just
Even though they get kicked out, like in 2020, out of their districts, they're free to run for president, and they've got a base in all of America. Maybe not where they live, but I could see them trying to run in 2024.
none of them have
No.
a shot in hell, Scott. They know
I don't think
this.
so either.
I
They
don't
can't
know
even
if they
win-
even care. I think that they are trying to run as many of these progressive candidates across the country. They're just trying to keep a toehold. Even if they lose there, I think that they're working on others because they've been running ads all over the country.
100%.
All right,
You're right.
I think it's all about hijacking the Democratic Party and
It is.
Democrat Party and making the move left. And what they don't realize is just like with their impeachment vote, they pushed too hard, too quick,
Yes, they
make
did.
nobody ready. And thank God we weren't. Thank God Trump was there to stop them. Because if it was Hillary, honey, we'd be going off the cliff.
Just think about it.
Tell
They
you, I
stole
think
the
you're
vote from
good.
Bernie.
just hear me
think they're
out
gonna
for
let
1
a
second though.
progressive
How are you going to take over the Democrat Party if you have no seats? If 3 of the 4 nuts are gone, you're not going to win
Because
over
they're
the
trying
Democrat
to run
Party.
other
Well-
progressives. You're not hearing the rest of my statement. The
Yeah,
people that
I
were
heard you,
running
but-
the ads that filled it for these are trying to spread it across the country in every blue district that they can get.
But
Bingo.
With these 4, it doesn't matter. They're hoping they're going to pick up more and
Yep.
make up for the loss.
Well-
And in the process, look at every one of the Democratic presidential candidates. They can't go left hard and fast enough. They've all promised free everything. There's
But what I
nothing to give but the shirt off our back.
But Doc,
That does not
Doc, these
compute
4
with
were
me.
polled. They are
I understand that.
Democrats
but that's
and
only New
liberals
York,
alike.
That doesn't discount California, Maine, all these other left-wing lib nut states. They're going to pick them up somewhere. You just wait and see. Because
But
they
what I-
lie to get in. They don't care. The ends justify the means to them. They don't care how they get their candidate in, hook, crook, or cranny. If they get those left-wing lib nuts in there, they can drive it all that way. Kimmy, you've been trying to talk forever. I'm sorry, darling.
It's okay. I think we're saying the same thing, but in a slightly different way. What I am thinking is like, you know how when they're trying to brainwash you, they have to keep telling you the same thing over and over. If you lie to someone to say the same lie over and over, eventually people will believe it.
Yes.
So I think that what I think is like with Linda. Okay, so back up to like Linda Sarsour. Linda Sarsour comes up and she's like this big, Muslim woman, and everybody's like learning from her, right? We're learning from her, whether we like what she has to teach us or not. We're learning from her, and she's teaching us to accept this kind of conversation. Nothing else, whether we like it or not. We're accepting this type of conversation into our world, and then
Okay.
people like AOC, etc., who are coming in, and they're making it even more normal than Sarsour made it, because they're just like the next step. And then after them is going to come more people who are just like them. And because you get more and more people, it builds up to where it seems more and more accepted and more normal. And it even is more and more accepted and more normal because we've already heard it. And people have become used to the idea. The public have become used to the idea of their thinking.
Yes.
And
They inch us along towards their goal.
and they're going to eventually make people think that you can actually ban cow farts or something crazy like that. They're going like people believe you can do this. Like there's 3 people in the whole world. Okay, let's just use these fake numbers. There's 3 people in the whole world, in all of America, that think you can actually ban cow farts. And then if we talk about it enough, you're going to have 6 people who think it's possible to ban cow farts. And then in 3 months, you're going to have 9, 12, 15 people who are
Exactly.
going to.
Mm-hmm.
By the time-
They've used that same tactic since the 60s. The Democrats are different than the Republicans in that they are in it for the long haul. They hang together, they pick a strategy, an end goal, and they inch us towards that at a steady march. They went from Christianity was puritanical back in the 60s to free love to free expression of everything to now that they radicalized everything and destroyed our society's pillars that has served us well for hundreds and thousands of years. Then their next thing was to start destroying it, and now they're going to divide us by everything. But they slowly march us. They pound until it gives way, until people do start believing. Just like you said, Kimmy, they become familiar. They begin to think it's normal. Then the mainstream media comes along right alongside of those narrative wells and try to tell us everything's okay and that we should be accepting and that we're racist, homophobic, misogynist, this, that, other, until it just becomes a cacophony that overwhelms us and overwhelms our society to the point that the average person doesn't think they have a chance to change anything. They destroy our hope. That's where they get us. They destroy our hope of changing it. Trump gave us back that hope.
Before we get too far along,
But then
I want to go back. Before we get too far along, I've been watching the chat, and I just wanted to bring up one good comment that's been up lately. And Lady Frets, about the latest rumors that the deep state plans to run Michelle Obama at the last minute. And I've been seeing several stories out, but today I saw one that kind of caught my eye. The headline was, Michelle Obama is the most
Admired.
loved woman in the world.
Yes.
In the entire world.
They're starting it.
Shit. Maybe
They're starting it. They're starting it.
But see, then I think
Michael, I should say, Mike, Mike Obama.
Michael.
Did you read the comments underneath the article?
They're funny.
Yeah.
Kimmy, were you
They were
going to
good.
say that?
Well, I was thinking then they take the media to magnify the numbers. However many people do believe that, they interview those people and make it appear that they represent even more than they do. They marginalize us to think that we don't matter, that our voices are small, or that only a few people think the way we think. So there must be something wrong.
Exactly. They minimize us because we tend to think that the majority of people are right. If there's a huge following, plus, if you believe that Michael Obama is the most admired woman in the world, I've got land in Louisiana. I can tell you that it's not marshy at all. I promise. I'm just telling you. You can dress it up any way you want, but she is not. Again, they're using their influence to make us think she is more loved, more admired. When we all know, I don't know anybody that even diehard Democrats think that they need to move away from them a lot. Plus, I do believe that Phil and I've had several very long discussions about this. I believe that they're going to try to use it to try to save her and Obama from what's about to hit, because they're going to say political persecution for her running.
Absolutely, I have no doubt about that. I
Right.
think that half the damn Democrats are running right now.
It is.
Pink pig or a pig and a pink ribbon.
Yes, you can put lipstick on that pig and you can call it you can put a lipstick on a sow's ear and call it a silk purse all you want to, honey. But when it goes to taking that lipstick in that purse, it's still a sow's ear. Just saying.
But when you talk about like the candidates running, they're going to eventually drop out. Then indictment's a free game.
Oh, I don't think it's going to save them, even if they're running. I think that there's going to be congressmen and senators from both sides. I think there's going to be people from every walk of life that is, we switched on the screen, that is going to go down. I think it's going to be delicious.
How'd you guys switch?
Well, I'm surprised Swalwell last as long as he did.
5 minutes.
Especially after that new conservatives comment he made.
Yeah.
I had said that Kimmy, when you said that 5 minutes, I started saying, yeah, I bet that's like his lovemaking too.
Oh,
Tired.
Scott turned his camera off, didn't he?
Yeah.
I still see
Okay.
Scott.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
well,
back now. I just had to grab something.
He turned it off, but I think we got jumbled.
we did.
Are you playing musical chairs?
I didn't mess up your box when I did that, or?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, can I say my 2 cents now?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What I was trying to
Heidi?
say is when they stole that away from Bernie, they weren't going to let socialism happen then. Now they're all wanting to fight to be as far left as they can. But yet people like Pelosi, Schumer, and them, do you really think that they would let one of these progressives win?
Ask that again.
How
I got what
Hillary?
you're going.
Did you say it? Maybe you can explain it.
I was distracted by chat. I'm sure you said it fine. It was just I started looking at the chat.
Oh, basically, they stole it from Bernie. Hillary did. Being the nominee.
Right.
So, why would they let one of these new progressives win when they wouldn't even let Bernie win?
I don't
They
know
won't.
that-
They've already picked her. Her.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think that they're going to let a progressive win the
I
nomination.
don't either.
Yeah. Is
Yeah,
that
it
what
wouldn't have mattered who it was. I mean, Hillary was running, and they would have knocked anybody, no matter what their affiliation was, off. Hillary was supposed to be the candidate, the one that won.
you had the last
It's
8
really-
years of the 16-year plan of destruction?
Well, I've heard. I've heard different commentators say that they've already picked it. It's going to be Harris.
That's what I've heard.
They're giving her more of an edge.
Well,
But
because go ahead, Beth.
Who are you talking about, Russ?
I'm talking about like CNN and all that. They're basically saying, "Wow, she won," and she just put down Biden. They've already picked it. Let's just see how it runs out, and if that
So are you
does.
talking about Hillary?
No, I'm talking about Kamala Harris. The
Exactly.
Democrats
That's it,
already
her.
picked her. I think so.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
However, the poll that just came out today with 50% for Trump, yay, they said that the top 3 are Bernie, Biden, and Warren, and it's going to be those 3. I don't agree with that. I don't think we're there yet.
Warren looks like she's about to bust out crime at any moment. I could just see her with, Z or Kim of North Korea.
Or Trump.
Well, especially the way she acted the other day at the hearings.
Oh my God.
But she may just need a beer, y'all. You know how she likes to drink a beer. She just needs a beer. She'll be all right.
Can you get me a beer, Doc?
But it's so great. It's so great that we have our president who won't let any of this shit go by.
You're
He
right.
hammers them on every point. We finally have a Republican that fights back.
Yeah,
I mean,
that
'cause all the
stands their
Republicans
ground.
in the past, as soon as they get hit with the racist and the misogynist, oh, I'm
Hey.
sorry.
Yep, you're
Trump,
right.
fuck it.
Piper thinks they're going to pick Buttigieg, or what is it that Trump calls him? Buttigieg? Buttigieg.
I
Sims.
cannot
Dude
say
Sims.
that.
Piper. They might.
Booty.
Buttigieg.
Where did y'all think I had gone? Somebody said Denise got up and went to get a drink, and I'm going, I had moved.
I had to find you again.
Oh, you lost me, Phil?
Yeah, I lost
I
you.
see how I wait around here.
You're back where you're supposed to be now, though.
Oh, that's good.
There we go. I fixed it. I fixed it. I fixed
let's-
it.
Holy dog shit! Texas only steers and queers come from Texas, private cowboy.
That one is loud enough I actually get to see the words.
Oh, good. You get to see the words.
What have we got here? A fucking comedian.
Yankee, you are a
We're gonna take those buttons away from you, Phil.
yes.
Where is my kiss my grits button that I was waiting on all week? I thought you were gonna send me one.
Oh, I didn't. I worked almost 80 hours this week.
Well,
I just-
thought this was good.
I told him no more.
But I want the button.
Asian guy.
Oh, okay. I think I can.
The
send
Asian
it to
you
you.
like him or not? What are you saying?
I said I told Phil no more of his little Asian guy that he plays.
He loves that man.
I know he does.
The donger.
Hey,
long,
Popper, don't give him ideas.
long
Do
duck
not,
dong.
do not encourage him.
I
I
just-
just saw what you put on that screen. Do not encourage him.
Oh,
You're
sexy
right, I forgot.
girlfriend.
No.
We were talking about the presidential candidate. I was going to ask his name, but you're talking about the guy on that thing you like to play. What is it that he says?
Oh, who's
Don't
the,
encourage him to play
who's
it,
the
Timmy.
guy?
Oh gosh,
Shane?
what have I done?
Is this Dave
Seriously,
Shane?
come on. You gotta dance around that one very delicately or it encourages him to play it.
You know all the Orientals look alike, don't you?
Your anal looks at what is your anal?
All
look
the
like?
Orientals look alike.
Oh my God! What did you say, Kimmy?
I think that's pretty good, but bad.
Full disclosure, before anybody turns us into Periscope, I'm part Oriental, so I can make fun
He's
of
allowed
myself.
to say it.
Now he can make fun of his own, he thinks.
Oh,
If I
everything
make
I
fun
thought
of women, are women allowed to get mad at me?
Do what, Book?
If I make fun of women, are women allowed to get mad at me, or do I have a pass?
Oh,
Oh no, you have a pass, you're a woman. You always get a pass.
Whoa.
Okay, that's
What happened?
What happened? Phil showed a portrait. I
Scott.
think it's not a portrait.
Take the
Scott is
controls
messing
away.
around. It's got to be Scott. It wasn't me.
it was,
Who was that? That
I
showed
couldn't
his
help
self-portrait.
My liberal friends say
I hear the
amusing.
bottom drink.
Was it me?
Are you slurping? Did you get that last drop, girl? Is it good?
No, the
I speak since you're my husband. I need some more coffee. Coffee. Some gumption. I was
Bullshit, I can't hear you.
And I didn't even get my gumption dry.
A little confetti with a hamburger.
I just take that one where you've got that you always show, and I never know you're showing it, where Biden's slinking on that poor
And the
cat.
cat. I love that one.
I love that. I saw you posted earlier.
I know. I like it. Do it again. Let me see. I missed it.
Piper wrote in the chat, she goes, I chink I know him, but I might be wrong.
That was a good one, Bobby.
Yeah, I just saw that.
Pretty funny. I can tell she's our kind of woman anyway. She never cares. She said anybody wants one. No, but I'll take some tequila out of the freezer, doll. You
Yeah.
got a shot.
Kimmy, you know how
Yes.
you said you wanted to make fun of women if it was okay. I have, from as long as I can remember, have always said or thought I would never vote for a female president. Ever.
We have periods, for crying out loud. Oh my god.
Exactly. Do you want them to have their hand on the nuclear code?
No. Don't give it to me. We'll all die. We'll die
No
one
kidding.
and then I'll love you again. But happy you'll be dead.
We got Biden and the kitty back up.
I saw that. Hey, poor cat. He would draw back a nub, I'm telling you, if he did that to me.
Did you hear the new Democratic debate schedule? Who's going to be on the stage with who?
Yeah, they were all making fun of CNN for the, what they call it, the comedic lineup or something like that they did. The way they presented, they did like a raffle or whatever, where they made a big deal about drawing out the names and everything, and everybody was making fun of them.
No,
Well,
they
I think Kamala and Biden are getting a rematch.
This time they're putting Biden smack in the middle between Kamala and Booker.
Oh, that was on accident.
Yes.
Ooh, I hate Booker. I just hate him. He's just
It's going to be ugly.
The only thing I like about him is that he reveals who he is very, very easily. Very
He
quickly.
does.
And he only became famous because he's friends with Oprah and Gail.
Yeah, and you know what? I think when he did all of that demeaning stuff too, I can't remember what the woman was. He was so rude to her. One of the ladies that he was, they were grilling for to authorize him or pass him through. You know what I'm talking about? Anyway, he was so ugly. He enjoyed it. He sneered. I think he's probably a very mean, small, vindictive little man in private. I just think he'd be one of the people that would take your breath away with his viciousness in private.
You can see it in his eyes. He has got pure, just like he is capable of some shit.
Yes, exactly. If you've ever seen somebody with that look, you will never forget it.
Amen.
By the way, in the chat, Piper says, periods in the nuclear football are a bad mix.
Amen.
Piper also said, "Here, pussy, pussy." There she is, kitty liquor.
Oh, did you see? WWFT Trump said with Booker, you never know which one to look at when you're speaking to him.
Popper's on fire in the chat spot.
I know Piper's
Booker
always,
looks like
That was good.
the Black Marty Feldman, doesn't he?
As many women as I have seen go through menopause, hormones, whatever, never.
women bitches for sure.
I have to end it. Oh, I'm sorry.
Is Rosaria Dawson dating Cory Booker?
He's
She's
engaged
gay
to
too.
someone.
He's really gay.
But are
That's
they
what I've heard.
an
Booker
idol?
is?
That is
Booker
such a
is gay,
He's being paid
Yes?
to
yes.
date him, to be with him.
but he is
Spartacus?
engaged.
I
Yes,
didn't know Spartacus was gay.
but he is
That's what I've
engaged.
heard.
He doesn't look
How could
like
you not know? In fact, there was a man that came forward that
Yes.
charged him with. He was a heterosexual man, and Booker got him in the bathroom. He was a volunteer or something, and was very pro Booker. And I think they were out at a bar or somewhere like that. Somehow they were in a bathroom together, and
Yep. Exactly.
Booker, I think, maybe even locked the door or something and let him out, and was groping him and making very unwanted advances, if you get my drift.
And now he's engaged to a woman.
One of my favorite lines, and we can apply it here, is that Booker's not gay, but I'm pretty damn sure his boyfriend is.
I like it when people say like I'm not gay.
I might have won that war. Because you know what? Woody hadn't been back in days. Now, I've heard him in some other trees, but he wasn't even brave enough to get in my neighbor's tree because he wants to be really brazen and really, just give me the evil eye. He'll get in my neighbor's tree that's right by my house, like right across his driveway, and he just looks at me and pecks on my neighbor's tree. And I'm going, which you don't get, buddy, is you're picking on my neighbor's tree. I don't care. It's like it's not my fireplace. But I think I might have made him a believer when I got him with my water cannon. But I'm always ready. And I'm leaving a house sitter with my kitties and my house and plants and everything for a few days. And I've already warned her, here's your basket, here's your water cannons. If you hear an explosion in the house, it's just this woodpecker I'm having a war with.
I know.
It was so funny trying to explain that to her. I'm saying, but I'm not going to let him think he's gained ground while I'm gone. I mean, he might get brazen and start thinking he's got the war won, and I'd have to come back and show him who's boss. I'm just saying.
Of course. You can't let him think he won, but here's why I have to say it. I'm so sorry. I feel like a traitor, but I am Team Woodpecker.
Oh!
What, against me?
Listen,
Your fellow.
Oh!
How could you ever side with the enemy?
I'm Switzerland in this.
I've had a hard time deciding, and so I haven't really like solidified it. But
hurt.
Life,
I'm hurt. My own team is turning against me. You want that woodpecker to win? Am I understanding that correctly?
I want the woodpecker to not die.
Well, I'm only shooting with water. He ain't gonna die unless he drowns.
Where the heck?
David wouldn't let me get the pellet gun. I wanted a pellet gun because somebody showed me a really cool one. It's on my Christmas list in case anybody needs to give my husband ideas. It's on, on my Denise list, because what we do at my house is everybody's got a little sticky on the, on the refrigerator where I keep for notes. And when you think of something during the year that you want and you don't want to spend the money on it, then you go write it on your list, and that way when birthdays, anniversaries, Christmases come up, then you just go pick something off their list, and they don't know what it is, but they know it's something they want.
Team
That's a
Pellet.
good idea.
And David said that he's not going to honor that with my pellet gun request. Huh?
You don't mark it off, and then all of a sudden you're getting like a salad shooter, and you didn't really want one anymore.
Then you just are SOL. Shit out of luck, honey. You cannot bark like a puppy if you're gonna run with the big dogs, honey. You can't remember to mark it off your list, then it's fair game. I'm saying. Do better.
I love my fly assault gun. Have y'all seen those? It uses salt. It's like a gun, and you kill flies with it. It shoots salt out like at high speed.
Salt.
Yeah,
And you
salt.
just shoot
And they call it an assault weapon.
Oh.
I like it.
I tell you,
It's great.
He
My
comes
favorite
up with this all day long.
my favorite. I actually believed him there for a second. I have to admit.
No, it's a
My-
true thing. Look it up. Assault or fly assault. It's a weapon. You can buy it. I've bought several.
Yeah, where it's like it does come like BBs. It just sends out hard pellets of salt. I've seen something like that, I think.
But you see,
There's a little bowl up on top of it, and you just put regular salt in there, put the cap back on it, and then you do this pump thing. And in fact, Enabler Abe has one. Enabler Abe has a scope where he was trying it out on flies outside. He uses it a lot.
I'm stuck on the fly thing because I just use a fly swatter. It seems easy enough.
A baggie of water with pennies in it in the bottom. Get your baggie and put your little bit of water in it and put you some pennies in the bottom, and then hang it up. And it's something about it freaks them out, and they'll leave you alone.
Did you say put some pitties in the bottom?
Pennies? Pennies?
So
know.
I have
another.
sorry, Rusty, but I have a poll for the viewers. I have a
The
poll.
1 cent
All right.
monetary device we use, it's called a penny. It's a real modern convenience.
I think he was thinking you thought of a different.
Yeah, I thought you said kitty. Put some kitties in the bottom of it.
Oh no, not my kitty Pepper.
I have a poll for the viewers here. I want to know what viewers are on Team Pecker and what viewers are on kill the innocent poor woodpecker by slaughtering him.
Yeah.
So number 1 for Team Pecker, number 2 for Doc Martin's
Who is gonna slaughter him?
Death
I'm just
Squad.
talking about making the little shithead leave me alone. No.
number 2 for Doc Martin's Death Squad. Number 1 for Team Pecker.
With Doc Martin, don't you love me? I thought y'all were my friends. I just see how you people roll now.
Yes.
I'll watch the chat and Discord. Number 1 for Team Pecker. Number 2 for Doc Martin's Death Squad.
Pepper. Thank you, SoCal. I appreciate it. You're with the right team, chickadee.
Come on.
Fritz,
More votes. Number 1 for
Come
the
on,
woodpecker.
We can't leave it a tie. Kitty liquors with me.
Oh, we got another one.
Angie,
Team Pecker.
You are shameful. You are shameful. It's like we say here in the South.
Oh, fixator. Oh,
we
we got
take
another
notes.
Team Pecker.
Team Pecker. Oh, you are too funny. All right, Kitty, you saved yourself now, honey. I'm just saying. Hey, guys, did y'all hear about those brazen illegal immigrant wannabes storming our border on the checkpoint on Friday? 47 of them.
Heard something about it.
No.
I'm saying they're just getting more and more brazen. They tried to manually.
I'm sorry, Doc, but Piper, Ohio said, of course Kitty Liquor doesn't like Pecker.
That's right, Kitty Liquor. We do have to stick together. Birds of a feather flock together.
Oh, Scott's messing with our boxes here. Scott.
Oh, Emma? Sorry. My mom came out. I had to say hi to my mom. She just got back.
Well, you just leave your camera on and you get up and go say hi to your mama.
Well, I left it on, but I turned the video off to go to Avatar.
That does the same thing as turn it off.
Well, from now on, tell her we said hi too.
I know. Why didn't you bring her on screen?
I should have.
You just tell her we would be delighted.
So, Phil, if I turn my video off, then it switches up your screen?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I thought if I left the meeting, it would mess it up, but not if I just turned my video off.
That's why I just turned my video off last week, and I was like, I'll just turn it off and it won't mess anything up, but I guess it did.
It does. I don't know why it does.
I guess muting's okay, but turning the video off.
Hey, Doc, do you like your little friend?
Story. I'm not sure which story she was talking about, though.
We should all turn our video off and just see what happens and watch Phil's head explode.
Oh, that would be funny.
That's a good idea.
That is
the only
a
one
good idea.
The only one left.
You just did not go
Be the
there.
only one left on there.
You gotta be shitting me, Joker.
Hey, Miss Fritzy has good taste. She says she wants to hear my story, but I wasn't sure which story. I had so many.
You have great ways to tell stories. Just tell one.
I will have to tell y'all one time my bat story. Oh, but wait. I did want to do a follow-up. What was it? Remember my weird lady? Okay, guys, something came out this week, and I was going to remember to tell y'all. Because remember when I came on and I told y'all about that weird lady that I met on the plane coming back from Vegas?
Yeah.
And she was with those long fingernails and stringy hair and had all those layers of clothes on, and said she was. I mean, it was a very long story. Do y'all remember all that? I thought y'all think I was weird for telling it. You remember that, Kimmy?
Keep going. I'll remember. I'll remember.
Okay, so I told this story about. I was coming back from Vegas, and there was. The plane was almost full, and when I was getting on, the stewardess told me where to sit. She told me very specifically, you go sit there. Well, what was I going to do? Not do what she asked me to do? So I go sit. Well, of course, it was right next door, or the seat right next in the middle. It was the middle seat, right next to this weird-looking woman. She had long, stringy hair, color on half of it, that down here where it's all gray where it's grown out. Long, gross fingernails that the color had grown off all the ends. She had a real vivid lip liner. I mean, and it had kind of bled, into her wrinkles. And then but all the lipstick had kind of worn off, so she's real gnarly looking,
Gnarly?
Like 15 layers of clothes on, and she looked very strange. And she was hunched over her tray in front of her. She had all these stacks of books, and she was writing in her journal. And so I, of course, got stuck sitting there, and on the other side was a real cute little Hispanic lady. And so we get on, and make a long story short, she and I had this otherworldly conversation, which she said that she didn't know about Q, but she said that she was part of the okay, I'm losing my words here. Hang on. The people with all the money, the huh?
The
What?
Illuminati?
No, what?
Lobbyists?
Hang on. The family that's the older wealthy under the
The
pacers.
Rothschilds.
Rockefeller.
Rockefeller.
No, wait,
Close.
no.
Rothschild.
Now, anyway, I'm getting it all jumbled up because I'm trying to tell this too quick. I got to go back and think about my details. But anyway, she said she was part of the group that decided to Trump win, that she cast the deciding vote amongst this trio of powerful people, that she was, because they wanted to kill her after that because she didn't side with the others that wanted Hillary to win, and that they had discovered this new energy. I mean, y'all, it was really the most bizarre 3 hours I have ever spent in my life.
Yeah.
But everything she said was lockstep with everything had been coming out about Q.
I
And-
told you it was me.
No, it was not you, honey. I know you in a heartbeat. I'm telling you, I did not believe it. I thought this one was crazy,
Right.
and started taping her with my phone, kind of covertly. And then I thought the Hispanic lady saw me, so I stopped. And anyway, she said that we had the most fascinating 3 hours. And she said, Denise, she said, they told me that there was going to be somebody on this plane. She said that she was under guard, but that they had let her out because she was going to this something. She's a lawyer and she was doing work on behalf of this Indian tribe, and that they had let her loose, and she had 2 weeks, and she hoped she lived that long, and that she would be contacting me within that 2 weeks, but that they told her that she was going to meet somebody on the plane. And here I sat down. I know all this stuff about Q, and I'm talking to her and everything. I'm going, do you know about Q? And she's going, no. She's taking notes. I mean, it's just the most bizarre coincidence. When I get home, getting off the plane, she was the last one to disembark, and she had a very wealthy butler come get her and roll her off because she was in a wheelchair. Got her in a wheelchair, rolled her off. And she had him bring her over to me and my friends. And I was telling my friends all about our conversation because ended up, make a long story short, she went silent on me for a while, and then I started talking to the Hispanic lady because I thought she was giggling, and I thought she was giggling at me or the conversation I'd had with the lady, and I was kind of trying to red pill her and talk to her. Anyway, long story short, and rolled him over there. She told me, she said, I'll be contacting you. So I didn't know what information I could give her where they couldn't get me. So I gave her my email. So I watched my email for 2 weeks, y'all, thinking this woman was going to call me. And David even believes it. But the weird thing about it was, when I got home, I saw the time ticking by on my phone. I was taping her. And I had also gotten a couple of still shots. The only thing that was left on my phone when I got home that night to tell my husband about it is one little lone picture that was grouped into my phone grouped it for some reason in with another grouping of pictures, and it kind of blended in with them. It was a bunch of shots of one. There's one picture of her left. Ask Sandra and them about it. I told them all about this one night, thinking that they were, going to think I was crazy, and they really, I think for the most part, knew I was crazy, but not that I was like harmful crazy, like you couldn't take me serious. But y'all, I'm telling you, it was the most surreal thing. The things she was telling me in this were so specific that she knew Trump. I mean, I would have to sit back down and reconstruct our conversation because it's been almost 2.5 years now. But it was the most surreal experience of my life. I'm just saying. And I can't even remember now why I started off on that long story. Oh, I think it's because you asked me to tell one, Kimmy. So you're
well, no shit.
Oh.
You just picked a random story.
Well, there you have one. I'll have to tell you my
That's pretty bizarre.
It was the most bizarre experience because the things she was telling me sounded like they were the most far-fetched things, but guys, it all had to do with the Illuminati, with the deep state, every bit of it. Though she didn't know about it because she did not know anything of Q. She said, but everything was lockstep with what I was reading out of the, of course, out of all of our new media and with Q, because I read it all. And I listen to it all, and then I keep in what I believe or create my hypothesis based off of everything. But I consume just about anything as far as news, any kind of media, because it doesn't mean you necessarily agree with them, but you should take it into account, even if it's just to help you debate people that don't believe like you. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep abreast.
So you had discernment of her as being truthful.
Yes, in a weird way, yes. And she knew me. She said, Denise, think about it.
This was 2 years ago?
2.5 years, about 2 years ago, right after Q started first posting.
Wow.
Right after I had first discovered him. And the weird thing was, she turned to me. We had talked for a long time. And she turned to me. She said, Denise, think about this. You're the one. And I'm looking at her like going, what? I don't know if I want to be this one. What are you talking about? And I'm sitting there giving
you won the Publishers Clearinghouse.
Yeah, no, that would not be my luck. I wish. But I'm going, excuse me? And she said, Denise, they told me I was going to meet somebody on the plane. The stewardess told you where to sit. Think about, at the time, Q was relatively new, so he was not as well known as he is now, or the Q movement. And so she said, think about all the people on this plane. What were the odds that you, who would be so savvy about politics, about this Q person, about all of this stuff, you would know the key players that I was talking about. I was sitting there taking notes and everything on it. She did too. And we had the most amazing 3 hours together. It was the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. She said that they had the ability. I was going to Vegas with my friends. One of my friends had on her bucket list to see Cher, and Cher was performing in Vegas. So we were going, even though I could not, I wouldn't give her a dime of my money, but so I couldn't really say no. She knew that was the only way she was going to get me there, because she knows I'm not giving any left-wing libnut a penny of my money. Anyway,
did you say the video?
Huh?
Did you say the video that you took disappeared off your phone?
Disappeared, and all the pictures but one that was in a different grouping that kind of blended in with some others. That's the only one I've got left of her.
That's weird.
And that happened from the time. The only reason I know is because I saw the number. You know how when you're doing video and you see the numbers ticking away, and I was afraid the Hispanic lady next to me was seeing me tape her. And so I turned it off real quick and I stuck it back in my purse. And then later, the lady she says, well, I've got to rest now. And she just kind of went comatose on me. She was sitting there reading her books and stuff and writing in her pad. And she had a stack of books. And guys, these books were not, I mean, I consider myself to be a fairly independent person. Hey, Stefan. But,
man.
The titles on this woman's books were things that absolutely somebody's got to turn their mic down. They got an open mic. But it absolutely was way out of my league, like things that were, astrophysicists and weird stuff like that, and all these books were way over my head. And it was just the most surreal thing. I can't even remember everything it wants to tell you. But she said, think about it. The odds of you getting on this plane, knowing all this, me knowing what I know, and us being seated next to each other. So then after she goes comatose, the Hispanic lady next to her starts shaking. She's laughing so hard. And I'm going, did you hear our conversation? She's going, yeah. And I said, well, normally I would think this one was, batshit crazy, excuse my French, but I mean, she was, normally I would think she's off rocker, but I said, there's a new phenomenon called the QAnon movement. Plus, there's a whole bunch of new media out there that is debunking the lies that you're being told on mainstream media. And I perceived the red pillar, and she's going, "You just sound just exactly like my mother." In that she worked at University of North Texas, which is where my daughter was going. And so I turned my daughter on to her. She went by, met her. She was very nice, very sweet. And I think I helped her mom red pill her that day. So
Wow.
she would go back and start reading. She goes, I just thought my mom was crazy because she's been telling me all this stuff for years. And I'm going, "Honey, you need to go home, apologize to your mama, and kiss her and hug her because she is a woman of discernment." And I'm going, "You just need to go," Anyway, so it was weird. And then she stops kind of talking, and the weird woman starts talking to me again. It was the most bizarre thing, and I'm just sitting there thinking, she was going, they keep her, she said that because she's in danger from the people that wanted Hillary, because she felt like the dark power in Hillary was too strong to vote for her, and the blue light that they see as this new energy resided over Trump, and that a lot of people thought Trump was, I can't remember now, but he was really really on the throne of Cyrus. And I mean, the woman knew her Bible too, and it was the most bizarre thing. It all went hand in hand with what we were learning back from Q. And see, I get all whopper job. My
Did you
story,
already
I remember everything. Huh?
Did you already know some of this stuff before you started reading the Q drops, or was this all stuff that you learned from Q? Because it sounded like you met her at the beginning.
I met her at the beginning of Q, but I've always kind of been woke.
Right.
Is that what you were asking me?
Well, what I'm asking is if you, okay, so when you met her, it was towards the beginning of the Q movement, or the Q drops or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Relatively close.
I don't remember Q having dropped quite that much information early on.
He actually dropped most of his information early on about all the families.
We didn't interpret a lot of it, but we knew. And I read so much, and all the. So go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Well, they did drop a lot of stuff early on, but it was. I just wonder, like, how soon into the Q thing, and how much.
And when I say it soon, I mean maybe I didn't find Q until like January, after he had started posting it. Probably April.
Okay.
So maybe April next year was. We went in April.
Denise?
Yeah, babe.
Grandma said there's her book right there.
Maybe. Well, tell her now that she's retired, she can help me write it. My mama, I had the strangest thing, not to tell you another long drawn out story, but my Sunday school teacher told me one time in small group, he was asking me how my book was going, and I'm going, "I don't know what you're talking about. What book are you? I'm not writing a book." And I kind of looked at him like he was strange, And he says, "Oh, you're going to." And I said, "Excuse me?" And he goes, "The Lord's just given me discernment. He's revealed to me that He's got a book for you to write, and you're going to write it." And I'm going, "Where did this come from?" I just think this is so weird, Anyway, we were walking into our class that night, and I'm just kind of freaked out by it. So when we get home that night, David and I were talking about it, and he said, "Denise, I'm just telling you, I've always thought you needed to." And I looked at him like, "Oh, yeah, right. Go on." And so, how it is with husbands, you disregard it. And so about a few days later, I'd gone by to have a cup of coffee with Mama, and I was telling Mama about it. And she said, "Oh, yeah, I've known for a long time you were going to write a book. God revealed it to me years ago." And I'm going, "Why is God telling everybody but me that I'm going to write this book? I'm still waiting." But maybe he sent me curious so I could discern what I'm supposed to write about. David thinks something about being Southern. I don't know, because I have a lot of Southern stories and sayings, but I'm not really sure. I'm just kind of waiting to get the memo.
Back real quick, if y'all don't mind.
I had an itch a while ago. I wish you could send that to me. And I thought, if I picked up one of my flags to itch with. I thought y'all would think I was too weird. I didn't know which one I would forfeit, my Jesus flag or my MAGA flag.
You got him back.
Woo! So how are you, Whistle Riches? You snuck in here on us.
I did. I snuck in. I'm sorry, I had to work today, but I was like outside prepping for paint and stuff, and I was like, "What time is it? Oh shit!" But I came in just. You were talking about the lady on the airplane, weren't you?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Weren't you in the group when I told the original story? And I thought y'all were all going to think I was weird. I was so afraid to tell anybody that story. For the longest time, I didn't really tell anybody hardly because it's just too surreal. I mean, the depths that she got into. She told me about the new power they had found. It has to do with blue light. She told me that the reason Cher looks, I mean, the woman looks unfreaking believable. At 75 years old, the woman looks, I mean, there's something abnormal about how good she looks. And she said that it's because they found out how to transfer a person's being from one vessel to another. And that people do not know about this, but that Cher had been done this way lots of lives.
Young blood.
I'd imagine Hillary's done the same and all them.
She said that they could transfer their being into a new body, a new prototype. She called it a name. And she said it's kind of like being renewed. And I'm going, maybe she was talking something about the blood transfusion. I have no idea.
Like regeneration?
But she knew about Cher. She said that Cher had been part of this deep state cabal forever. Y'all, the things that she said she knew Trump was very intimate friends with him. She called him Donnie. She knew intimate details. She talked about him so familiarly. And some of y'all may not realize this, but my first degree is in psychology, so I feel like I have a fairly good eye for crazy, for discernment, and recognize it, because I recognize it myself. And I'm just telling you, it was weird how true it rang with my soul. It was just the most bizarre. It was so bizarre. I was sitting there praying because many of y'all know Millie. I was with Camille before I left. And I told her for some reason I had trepidation about my plane trip. And so she said, Denise, we need to pray over it. So she started praying. And she said, she asked God specifically to uphold that plane with his mighty hand. And when the woman was telling me that she was coming out of hiding, that they let her out for a very short amount of time because she was a lawyer and had all these degrees to help with this case. And that she hoped she lived through the time that they were giving her, because obviously people were trying to kill her. And I remember thinking, God, if this is so surreal, if this is true, please protect me supernaturally. Do not let them take this plane down to try to get her and kill me in the process. Please, God.
You need to. I agree. I think that's the book.
I'm telling you, it was weird because it was like God supernaturally superimposed the view in my mind of that plane being held up with his hand. It was bizarre because I don't mind telling you, I felt like I was caught in the twilight zone, and woke up and I was the last person alive on the planet or something. And I'm going, this is just all too freaky, too close, because the things she said were too smart, she wasn't just crazy. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I hope y'all haven't lost every last shred of respect you have, but I really promise you, I am not, certifiable crazy.
Hey, no. There's times where God will send angels into your life and speak to you on that level. Literally, I've experienced it myself. Not in that fashion, but,
I've had one other angel experience. Where I firmly believe. And I've debated and just been too lazy for over a year now. God has laid it on my heart to scope Dr. David Jeremiah's book on angels. It's a if you haven't picked it up, you need to. It's by Dr. David Jeremiah. It's a book on angels. It will open your eyes incredibly, because angels are so much more magnificent than we realize. And they're curious about it, because it says in the Bible, they do not know what it is like to have been so loved by God that he would let his son die for them. So they don't know what it feels like to be redeemed. They're man-made creatures. And in this book, it explains why, though we think that they are higher than us, they're really not. In the new world to come, when Jesus returns and the new heavens are brought about on earth, that, you know, they really will work for us. I mean, they will take orders from us. So though they are magnificent beings, this book is just really incredible. So I'm sorry, I did not mean to just take over the show. Excuse me.
Yes, you did.
I really did, no problem.
There's 8 minutes left. And Stefan was late.
A jelly donut?
My bad, bro.
You owe me for one jelly donut.
You owe me one jelly donut, Stefan.
You know what they say, it's better be late than ugly.
I want to be Stefan and come and go.
Did you see what Sith Princess said? Sith Princess says,
Oh, God. I saw
Sith
that
Princess
time.
says, don't laugh. I'm having naughty thoughts of everyone on the screen in their 20s, wild and having sex.
Oh, my Lord. Well, hang on then. Wait. I don't want anybody to see it.
One disclaimer: no homo, no eye contact, no sword fighting. Boom. The end.
No.
That is terrible.
I'm with Stefan.
I don't mind eye
Oh,
contact.
Lord have mercy. I don't even know what to say to that. Y'all are going to make me blush.
Hey, at least you didn't have director Mike ask you to move.
Ask you to do what?
Move to Arizona.
Oh, really? Oh, I remember that.
The night you and him, yeah.
He's sweet on Beth.
He was sweet.
Never met the man before, ever.
Well, it didn't take long for him to fall in love with you then, huh?
Yeah, picture.
And it's a very cute picture with those big old blue eyes.
Right.
I always wanted blue eyes.
Back to the question I was asked, though.
Huh?
Back to what we were just speaking about. What is all of y'all's feelings on that?
I'm having an orgy in our 20s.
Yeah.
Hey, you are age fluid. I've heard it straight from your mouth.
I'm already in my 20s or my 40s or my 60s, whatever you want.
I am age
That
fluid.
if she were bisexual, she'd do every one of us. I can see we are just going straight into the gutter. Princess, you are in trouble. You just drug us right down, honey. And we're always happy to play.
That's the good thing about the internet is I can make all kinds of promises and never have to keep any of them. Come on, baby. Come on.
I'll remember that, Kimmy.
Kimmy, promises made, never kept. That's a good show.
Oh.
Boom.
Hey, I think you have to make a lot of deposits for I'll let you make a withdrawal.
Oh, good point. Snap stuff. Let's see
Make them earn it.
You'll need a couple of different accounts, gal.
Yeah, I probably should have a more anonymous.
I can count to 1 million. I'm okay.
It's just
All right,
fun.
let's go back to some serious shit real quick.
Oh,
I'm sorry I'm late. But
Stuff, 'cause I know Doc and Phil have to do their thing.
yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we
never
got
mind.
4
Never mind.
minutes.
Well, I don't mind if we start a little late if Phil doesn't.
Skipping that. I was just gonna say really quick, the doubt for you to get on the airplane, right? Dayton put that in your head because he knew that you were gonna meet somebody that had just not become an angel. I don't mean that, but somebody that was anointed at the time and had that spirit on her. You know what I mean? You got to think about these things. God works in mysterious ways, and Satan
You
tries out.
think he's always going to use somebody but you. You know what I'm saying?
We went from one discussion to Christianity. Oh my Lord!
Well,
let me from the chat room. From the
Go
chat
ahead.
room, Grandma Smith just says, "If I were bisexual, I'd do every one of you."
I know, I read that a while ago. That is so funny. She's a nut. I love her.
I'm taking you up on it.
If we were all bisexual, we'd just all be doing each other.
Well, I'm sorry, but David doesn't let me date. I've asked him. I'm like, when it's 2019, come on, bud. Get with the program. But see, the problem is he thinks if I get to date, he should get to date too. And I'm like going, that will happen over my dead body. I don't share. If I protect you, you're mine.
That's the myth of the what's good for the goose is good for the gander thing. No.
I know. And where they think that they have their own money or anything. But yeah, no, he won't let me date. I keep going, come on, get with the program. It's 2019.
Speaking of Goose, did you see that they're doing a Top Gun sequel?
Yes, I did. Maverick.
Yeah, but I can't. They've ruined Hollywood for me. I can't give them a penny without wondering if you're not supporting pedophilia or some weird something or another. I don't know.
Well, even on this new Top Gun thing, I just read an article where China got involved and they have removed the Taiwan and the Japanese flags from the back of Maverick's jacket at the request of China.
No way.
What?
Yeah.
Well, and you're putting more money into that Scientologist pocket every time we give him.
No, I'm not going to see it.
Bill,
I did see it though.
You look like you are sweating bad.
Yeah, it's hot up here.
I tried to tell you.
He has no air conditioning, guys, and he is willing to tough it out for us.
I told him how to make one free and cheap and portable.
Hey, same with me. I'm out in my man cave, and it was 100 degrees out here today.
Well, all you have to do is get you a cooler, put some ice in it, and set your fan to blow right on that ice, right into you. That's all you have to do.
I saw that article where the guy turned
the redneck cooler.
Yeah, the redneck cooler. I saw that article. That was cool. I saved it. I'm actually going to make it, I think.
We've done it for years at the lake.
We did it during the hurricanes, yeah.
Wait, y'all. An AC engineer doesn't have AC. The fuck, Scott? Come on, man.
Good
Yeah,
point, Stephen.
You'd think.
Come on, man. Thermodynamics. Figure something out. Get a draft going in the room.
One of the problems here, though, is we got a high humidity. And so whenever you use ice as your cooling
Your
source.
humidity doesn't compare to Florida.
In Amarillo, Texas, are you freaking kidding me? You think you've got high humidity?
Holy dogs! Texas only steers and queers come from Texas, private cowboy.
I've lived in Houston. I know what it's like. But still, if any ice is going to throw water in the air, and if it's humid,
what cools you?
It
The
might cool you a little bit,
evaporative.
but you're going to be like still having water all
I
over
know.
your face.
Yeah, but at least you'll be cool even though you're wet. It's the same thing with the. I grew up before, everybody had central heating and air conditioning. We had in the house I remember most growing up. We had evaporative cooling, and there was vents over the door, and it was centrally located, and it would blow out those vents in all the different rooms.
Right.
You'd wake up and everything would be damp and cold and wet.
Yep.
Where did you grow up, Doc?
In small towns around West Texas.
Where? What state?
Texas.
Holy dog shit! Texas only steers and queers come from Texas, private cowboy.
I knew it.
Did y'all hear Rush the other day? He says it right. He says it isn't Texas, it's Texas. Texas. He always says it so funny. I think he's so cute.
Oh, Russ.
I know, I like Rush.
I make a special point to say all of the syllables of Mississippi because I know that I'm supposed to only say Mississippi in order to be stereotypically correct.
Right.
And so I'm like, Mississippi.
That was the first word I learned to spell. Hard word.
Well, it has four eyes but can't see. Mississippi, Mississippi. Yeah.
That's
Remember that when you were a kid?
It's M-I crooked letter. Wait, M-I
Crooked letter.
I crooked letter I humpback I.
Humpback eye.
What do you say?
forgot
What
those.
has 4 eyes? All right, well, guys,
All right.
if we're going to coast over into Mega Promises Kept, that's fine. But if my co-host holds me to Promises Kept being started on time, we got to break
Yeah,
for me
right,
to
right.
refresh my libation before we start.
I think Phil needs a new shirt.
Peace out, y'all. I got a house to spray, so I'll be listening through the garage stereo really loud. So have a good show.
Just don't leave
Thanks
the
for
camera
joining.
Good one.
on. Don't turn off your camera yet.
Y'all are gorgeous, non-sexually, but you're gorgeous.
Stefan, did you hear?
Love y'all.
Stefan,
Did you
don't
hear-
turn off your camera.
Yeah, don't leave Zoom.
Don't leave yet. Kimmy's trying to say something.
No, I was just making sure that Stefan heard Phil not to leave the Zoom until we shut the show off.
It makes us all go crazy.
Yeah, he just got the boxes all straight.
Alrighty. Do you want to say goodnight, Stefan, before you go?
Yep, I just did. I'm gonna be spraying my house.
Okay. Beth Duffy, you're next.
Good night.
Oh, that was quick. Kimmy
Enjoyed the
Jong-un.
show and thanks for letting us on. Really enjoyed it. The
Kimmy.
chat was hilarious.
Yeah, the chat was great. I just want to say thanks for everybody for coming in, and it's fun being all together, whether we have like deep topics or crazy topics or just whatever we talk about. I just think it's fun to get together and make MAGA great again. Make MAGA
It's
fun.
starting to feel like we fit together.
Yeah.
Does that go back to the orgy thing?
I fixed.
We can tell what's on your mind now, Phil.
I have.
No kidding.
I have a paddle, and this side of the paddle says Piper, which you can't see because backwards. But this is my daughter.
Oh,
Oh, it shows it right.
that's
But then
adorable.
here's the other side, so I want to say good
Good
night.
night.
Oh, cute.
Rusty.
That is cute.
Well, thanks for coming. Love each other. Never tag MAGA. Peace out.
Never.
All right,
what?
Rusty.
Never attack MAGA.
Yeah.
Never attack.
Yeah,
Good
point.
one.
Doc, I'll save mine for the next show.
I'll say bye next time. But we're so glad y'all came. Don't leave. I'm just going to go get a libation and run to the ladies' room. Then we'll be right
Wait.
back.
Did
More
Scott
crazy
say bye?
coming your way.
Wait. Scott didn't say bye.
Oh,
No, I
yes, he
said
did.
goodbye.
Sorry, Scott.
Yeah.
No, I did say goodbye. I already did mine.
I thought you were short and sweet.
Yeah,
It must have
mega,
been short and sweet.
mega to everyone. Speakeasy cat. There we go.
Good night,
Yeah.
everybody.
And we'll be joining all you guys in the chat room for the MAGA's show coming up next. So,
Absolutely.
Promises kept up next. Good night.
night.
Until a
leave.
few minutes. For a few minutes.
Bye, y'all. See you next time around.
Subscribe.
That's right. Catch you later.